Very good evening to you. If you are a Inner Circle member, go to the Inner Circle members Facebook group, and in there is a link to the Zoom room. You're quite welcome to hop into Zoom or just watch us live from any of our channels. Hello, good evening and welcome. Help if I unmuted myself. How are you doing, Robert?
I'm fantastic. How about you, Steve?
Very well. So we've decided lots of exciting things coming up with DFY Magic Themes, and there's lots to do, and we've had some feedback from various people on processes. So we decided we're going to roll back and show you the install of the new agency website, and then we're going to go through that. And then we're going to basically go through the steps of getting it found online and setting up your own web agency, and then we're going to roll into all the other steps accordingly to do with what we've been doing with our messenger, getting people into your own groups. And already there are people we know. I'm doing company training for some members on a Wednesday night and on a Friday morning. Depending if you're in the UK, then it's obviously Friday morning, Wednesday night for USA. And that's for those who bought in on the Cloud Key birthday deal, of walking them through those processes to get them to where they need to be with all those softwares and how to make money with them. And so that part we're sort of separating. We wanted to make this more an over-the-shoulder training session on a Sunday, which means that those that can't make it on the live calls will be able to watch the replays inside of the groups.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going back to the beginning, going right back to the basics, which is build. This is going to be the build portion, and then we're going to keep doing this repetitively. We're going to build, we're going to rent, and we're going to rank. So we're going to go through these processes, and then we'll do it again. In a whatever it takes, 6-8 weeks, whatever. We'll do it again and do another domain and do it again. So that it's repetitious in what we're going to be doing, but it's going to take you from ground zero. If you don't know how to get hosting and you don't know how to install WordPress, reach out to us. We'll help you. But we're assuming that you know how to find hosting and you know how to get a domain name. In our training of all of our magic themes, we do that in our training, but we don't know where you're at and where you're starting from. But we're starting from ground zero, fresh install of WordPress. So we've gotten a domain name, we've set the DNS name servers, and we've installed the domain name on our hosting account. Like I said, if that's an issue for you, reach out to us. We're starting ground zero on WordPress.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, on another note, for those, because we've got different channels out there, YouTube and Facebook, we monitor one main channel on Facebook, and if you want to get to that, you can go to dfymagicthemes.com/FB for Facebook, and that is our free group where people can put comments in there, and we monitor that while we're live, and we try and monitor it throughout the week when we've got other things happening. So, but tonight's training, we want to give you a glimpse of what's coming up for Black Friday, the exciting new website that we put together. Really, it's a business in a box. That's the idea behind it. It's upload a site very, very quickly, change some columns, and that's your local business website up and running without doing too much. And then you do your social media channels, which we'll cover next week. And then you move on to citations, and then you've got your web agency site up. It's really the window to the world. Once you've got your agency website up, then you can promote it inside your own Facebook group, get people into a Facebook group or page, and start sharing that and getting friends to share it. You know, how many friends do you have on Facebook that could share your web agency and go, look at this? Get people to it. Very simple promotion, very easy to do. If you understand pay-per-click advertising on YouTube or on Facebook or in Bing or on Google, then that's great. But I know that I know people that spent thousands of dollars on advertising and had very little return. We are trying to show you a way doing this organically to get people into your own groups and different things like that accordingly. And that's what we're going to work over the next coming weeks. And of course, tomorrow's Monday, the countdown starting for Black Friday. When we get to Black Friday, we're going to do one of the most amazing deals we've never done before. And we know we originally we were going to just do it for Black Friday. And I had a not so much of a backlash, but a lot of messages coming in to people saying, well, it's Thanksgiving in the USA, we're away for part of it, but we're back on the Monday. So we decided we are going to run it from Black Friday early morning right the way through to early morning UK. It'll probably be later in the day for the USA, depending on timings, but it will be at some point. It'll go live, so you have to be on the page when it goes live, and then it will run through to midnight Eastern Standard Time on the Monday. And when that offer's gone, it's gone. No scarcity here. We're going to run it up to the end of Monday, and then that's it. That's it, over and done. And then it goes back to the standard DFY's deal. So if you are into building web agency, you want to build your own web agency, you're into mass page building. We call them local location pages rather than mass page building. If you're into all of that sort of stuff and you want a quick way of setting this up, that's the offer that you need to go for. And we are piling up the offers as well. Just today alone, guys, right? I managed to pull in an extra little bonus for Black Friday. Right. And I've talked to Rob about it earlier. Should we share yet, or should we keep it a secret?
No, we're going to hold that till Friday, because that's a gift. That's a bonus that it's just another feather in your cap. So you're going to see the actual build, hopefully tonight live, of the agency website. Yeah.
Now, technology goes wrong, okay? And whenever we do things live, sometimes it goes wrong. And if it does, don't worry, because it shows we're only human, right? And if these things go wrong, well, we'll find a way to correct it, or we will have a look at why, and we'll report back another day. But fingers crossed, the web hosting will pay for itself, the live stream won't go down, and we'll be all 100% hunky-dory and okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get Robert to share his screen. And I'm going to walk Robert through how we set this up on the DFY's web agency website, which is the website which is part of the Black Friday deal. So earlier on today, Robert installed WordPress on the hosting. Now, don't panic if you don't understand how to install WordPress. We have full training inside of our systems to help you through our hosting on installing WordPress. And most hosts have an easy WordPress install option anyway, so you don't have to worry a thing about it. And plus, if you have our hosting and you've got a problem, you raise a support ticket, we help you. We'll help you get going. All right. So now the next step is to install a plugin called WP Vivid. So we go to the plugins tab. We click on install plugins. We go to add new. And we're going to now search in the box for WP Vivid, all one word. And now press enter and it will come up. It's the first one in the list there with the little fancy cloud and arrows. We're going to install it. Activate it.
I clicked activate.
And that's activated. We want to come down to where it says upload. Scroll down. We can drag the file in, or we can select the file, whichever you prefer to do. Earlier on, we downloaded the file from our build.
So explain, Stephen, where this file came from so that people that have no idea.
Yeah. So this is a full build of the web agency website. And the reason we do it this way is it saves you installing any plugins So this is a full design with all the content, and it's much easier to do a restore from afar. So earlier on today, from our main build that our devs put together, we use WP Preview to back the full site up. All right. So now we drag this in. Now we click the upload button.
So it's just so that we're clear, this is not a template. This is a full built website that we're going to import into a brand new domain.
Yeah. So as well as a brand new domain, it's a fresh blank install of WordPress. And this is what makes these sites so easy to install at the end of the day, because once you're set up, all you're going to need to do, and this, we won't go through this tonight, but in the training, we show you how to change the username and password of the account, how to log back in as yourselves, and how to then remove the default username and password, which is inside of all of our builds. All right. And it's really important that you remove that, because otherwise anyone can get into your site that knows this username or password and they recognize the install of the site. Now, while this is uploading, and this can take a moment or two to do so, what we will say is each time you install the site, the content becomes unique. So every time we spin the content and we run with this, it is unique. Now, this will be typical, Robert, if this ends up deciding to go slow tonight.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's saying 3%, but that's what it's been saying for a little bit. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. If this gets stuck, then of course, and we say, you know, sometimes the hosting has a problem. It could be a number of things, and we have to just monitor it and see why. We've done this install a few times now, and it's been fine every time. Might take a moment or two, but we'll see what happens. And this is the thing about live over the shoulder. But this is where you twiddle your thumbs sometimes on the live, isn't it?
You know what? This is a perfect opportunity to say for people, when they go to do an upload of file, right? And it's a large file, and they click upload, and they click it again, and they click cancel, and they click it again. What that will tend to do is crash that file. So you have to be patient for them. And if the case is, if the file is stuck, then we're going to go through that process to unstick it right here on the live. But because we're on Zoom, because it's a very large file, maybe that's the issue. It's hard to say.
Yeah. And these things happen sometimes, you know, and it's just a case of giving it a moment or two and seeing what's happening. That's all it literally is. Occasionally these things happen, and they're there to test us. And other times, you know, it could be that we have to refresh and try and upload again. But we'll see what's going to happen. You know, sometimes I always say to Robert, pre-record this stuff so it doesn't go wrong. But the problem being, it's never as simple as that to pre-record stuff.
Now, do you see how long that took, and it just went to 4%. So it's working, but it's working very slow.
This can be a number of things, right? This can be your own broadband. Occasionally, what happens is your own provider is throttling your internet, right? For, you know, it could be a peak time where you are. It could be a number of things, right? And normally uploads like this are a lot quicker than that. So it's just a case of giving it a moment or two and waiting for it to upload. If this goes too slow, then we may refresh, and I might try for my end to upload it. We'll wait and see. Now, while we're waiting for this to slowly upload, there's other processes with what we'll be doing with this, and we want to get everyone start to finish having their sites set up. So from when everyone signs up to our sites, our actual main Black Friday deal, the plan will be that we will do over-the-shoulder training to get everyone at the same point each week. We've found that sometimes people fall behind. So
or lack the confidence to to just try.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually do what we're doing right here for our trainings for people after Black Friday, so they can take this step of going out, get their domain name, get their hosting set up with us or whatever they're doing. But we prefer to do everything through us so that we can help you more. But we understand that people have hosting accounts. They want to use different things that aren't part of what we do. But when you see our Black Friday deal, you'll understand. We want to have, how do I say this, Stephen, to be politically correct? We want you to have no excuses for not being able to build. We want you to be able to follow along. We're at 5% now, so we are moving forward, but it is slow. And we want this to be simple. And the interesting part is when you see this site build, we took the time to build a complete, thorough site so that there's no excuses as far as you going out and renting local niches websites. And the key to this is these websites are pre-built for you. They're part of this agency demo site, and they're already connected to each of the different niches already being offered as a complete demo site, meaning that you can go to the individual niches and start looking to rent sites without having to build any of them. Now, we're going to prefer that you build your agency site so that you have a link ready to show these people, this is the kind of site you're going to get for this so much money per month, and this is what we're going to do for you, right? We want you to get right into the ability, not to stay stuck in building a first one, and then building a demo for this, and then building a demo for that, and building a demo for... No, we want you to build one site. They're already connected to all the demo sites, and you just have to get out there and get them rented. Then you build. I mean, let's build for the clients. Let's build so we're making money. That's the whole point of it. It's not just to build sites. Is to make money.
Yeah.
So the restore is now kicking. Now we're at 61%, and
And I had a quick look at the logs, Robert, and what it was saying that the internet provider was throttling the speed. So
interesting.
So what it can be, I know recently Robert's had some engineering works on the broadband in his area. So occasionally you'll get this packet glitch, as it's called, and things will slow down. You can see now it's really motoring.
Well, it goes to show you being patient and allowing things to go forward.
Yeah.
There's nothing to make you unconfident more than having a file and sit there and do nothing. So you start clicking, you start canceling, and then you cause yourself trouble in the long run because then the file gets corrupt.
Yeah. So if as you saw then, it slowed down at the start. So the best advice we can give you is go off and make a cup of tea. Go and find something else to do. Don't ever worry about what's going on. It will always, sometimes it will slow down, sometimes it will go fast. And there we go, it says it's complete. So now we're going to click OK to that message. Now, the next step, and this is really important, you have to click restore on the file. All right. And the reason being, people make this mistake and they go, oh, it's all uploaded now, I'm going to come away. So it doesn't load unless you hit restore. So we're going to hit the restore button.
You just put the file on the site. Now you have to actually restore the site.
Yes. So,
and again, big restore. File, it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah. So we hit the restore button again. And we click, are you sure? Because it's going to wipe over whatever's already on there. We recommend every single time, please, please, please use a blank WordPress install with our builds so you don't get any corruption. And on Facebook, Don's saying hello, and PK Bowman is saying, that's awesome. Good to see you, PK and Don. I said, we are monitoring the chat on our free Facebook group, which is dfymagicthemes.com/FB for Facebook. And you're welcome to pop to that channel and comment. If you are a DFYer on the Inner Circle, head over to the Inner Circle page, and in there is the link to tonight's Zoom room, and you can click on that. It's above the live here, and you're welcome to jump in on the Zoom room as well. That's the advantage of being a Inner Circle member. So it says here, restore is completed successfully. Click OK. Now, this point is going to refresh. It's going to confirm you're not a robot, because all hosting companies have now added this security in. And when it comes back, most likely it'll ask you to log back in. So at this point, Robert's going to log back in.
Let's see if this is saved for me.
You need the other password. So what happens here, and this username on here isn't the one we use for our standard builds for you guys. You'll have one inside your members area, which you will need to enter in. And for those that saw that briefly, the login on this site will be changed. So you,
of course,
will not be able to get in.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and find the password.
Yeah.
This should be the password we just created for the new WordPress, right? No, this is
the
previous. Sorry, you're right. From the restore.
Yeah, the restore.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me get a hold of that.
Good evening, Don and Shirls, who have popped into the Zoom room. Good to see you as always.
Evening, guys.
But this is the exciting part of showing you the install and how easy we're making it, and how easy it's going to be to update all the new builds for you guys. So it's great. Robert's just finding the correct password. Have you found it?
No, not yet.
So Robert, load up the original build site, and then on your last pass little square, click on it and copy password, and that'll be the password for this site.
Okay, gotcha.
And you know, the cool thing about this is the fact that the reason I'm not doing this myself and I'm talking Robert through it is Robert's on the content side with the content team for DFY Magic Themes. I'm on the tech side, and it's so easy for me to go click, 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 and I get ahead of myself sometimes. So I'm getting Robert now to run through this, because if anything's going to go wrong, right, it most likely will break while Robert's doing it rather than me. And I know little tips and tricks to get around some of these things. Sometimes when things go wrong, well, that's no good if you're non-technical and you want to learn this, which is the whole idea behind this. But so hopefully now Robert's logged in. Here we go. So we've now got the site up and running. The first thing I always do when I install a copy of a site is go to settings and permalinks. And I always make sure that it's on the right setting. It should import automatically. And scroll down, and it's on post name, which is what we want it to be on. Just click save anyway. And that way, then any plugins that are already installed are ready to roll. Now, we're not going to go through tonight with the what we normally go through as far as changing the username and password. That's in our main training. And we can come into that later. So our next step is actually to open the site in a new tab, just to show the site as it is now. Now, the internet always runs a bit slow as well when we're sharing screens. So this is the build now. Is that a plugin you got somewhere? Or was that our?
I believe that's rank math.
Okay.
Because we're still logged in on the other screen.
We're logged in, yeah. So
I can go to an incognito window if you want me to.
Do that just to show that anyway. We are testing rank math as we speak on our main build, and the cool thing is so far it's been working really well. We are talking about to our dev about SEO press. We'll see if he can get our plugin to work with that, and we know it also works with Yoast as well. So is it cached is the question. Give me one moment and I can go and check for you, Robert. Because on our hosting, there is an option to cache the site as it is when it loads. And so I will clear the cache for you now, and then you should be able to refresh. Bear with me. Right. Can you refresh now and try? There we go. All done.
So, I mean, you know, these these are the things that happen to people, right? I went to an incognito window and it wasn't working. What do? This is why support is so important. This is why you have to be able to reach out and get the answers you need. I wouldn't know that. Why wasn't it working? Right?
Absolutely. And that's the difference with DFY Magic Themes and our support team, including myself and Robert, that we will make sure that things are resolved. Occasionally, when we got staff off, like Greg's been off lately, some support tickets can slip under the net. But the difference with us is if you don't get a response, by the next day, normally, next working day from when you submit it, you can ping us a message or pop a note in the group mentioning us, saying, oh, I think my support ticket's been missed. And we will always catch up with it as quickly as we possibly can. There's 3 of us on the support team, and we're hoping to grow that as we go along with more and more people in the future. So, as you can see, the site's all installed. If we go to the top, Robert, we got at the top there phone code. So what we're going to do is we'll change some of the settings inside of the site. So if you drag that window out the way and we come back to the WordPress actual admin login, and we go to our DFY MCB tab, and we go to company info. Now we're going to look for phone number. Now in the site, there's that one, which is the text people will see. So if we hit edit on this one, and then we'll show you where the other one is. You see we got to zeros there at the moment on this one. So this one here is the code version rather than. Let's update that one, and then we'll go and find the other one as well. Well, that's different, isn't it, Robert?
Live.
So, yeah. Let's refresh and see if we can bring you back into it a minute. Right, click the back button. Occasionally these things happen. Let me think for a moment in case it's. What I suggest we do, it could be the admin's been doing an update. Go to plugins. That would disable a couple of plugins. Normally an error like this is a conflict with a plugin, right? So we're going to go and look at install plugins. And for now, we'll deactivate Magic Page plugin, as the site can be standalone now without it. And for the moment, let's deactivate Rank Math as well, just to be on the safe side. And real-time find and replace we're at the top there.
deactivate?
Yeah, for the moment. Those are the free plugins which the dev's been playing with. So everything else should be all okay. And if we now go back to settings and permalinks, we'll just resave permalinks again. And now click save twice just to be on the safe side.
I'm going to tell you now that it was because MPP was activated. It wasn't also ready.
It wasn't, yeah, because we hadn't gone through the rest of the settings on it. Let's go and try it again. If there's an issue, our devs will work on this. Will be all 100% working fine, ready for Black Friday. And these things happen sometimes, you know. But the difference with us is we will always find an issue and resolve it.
So just to be clear, we have a phone, and we have a phone code.
Mm.
So the phone is the display number, and the phone code is the action.
The action of clicking on it that it does on a mobile device.
So go back into phone.
Yeah.
Save that number and I'll update.
Yeah. There we go. So I think you're right. I think it's that Magic Page plugin that because we hadn't completed the settings on Magic Page plugin. Because you have to finish setting it up, and we left it in a mode that wasn't fully set up, which can cause a conflict. So now we're going to come back to the company info shortcodes. And we're going to go and change the phone code one. Now the phone code one has to be international format. So for an example, if you're in America, it'll be 1, and then let's say it was 333 or whatever it may be. That's going to be the clickable link. When people click on it, it'll dial that number.
Is there a certain number of digits? There's 10 digits, right?
Yeah. We can make it up.
Okay.
So, and click update. Now, if we come back to the incognito window that you've got open already.
Let me just grab that.
Now I've got there we go. It's updated at the top. So it's got 133444444. And if you hover over it, it's got the telephone number 133444444. So
you can see it on the bottom here.
Yeah.
When you hover over it.
Yeah. If you scroll down to the bottom, I think we've got it in the footer as well.
It's a long page.
Tons of content. And at the bottom there, in the menu there, we've got the phone number and it's also clickable. So
you see, so this is showing the number version versus the click version.
Yeah. And so that's how that works on there. And as you can see, we've got lots of content on these sites. So the second thing you can change, and we'll obviously we're going to do this in the full training. We'll just show you something else that you can go on and do. So if you move that window out the way, Robert, we can come back to company info. And we can change the actual company name. And we hit edit. And we could make this whatever we want it to be. Obviously, it'd be your company name. To answer your question, Don, I did pick up on the fact that the devs had put the wrong link on the top bar, and I made a slight note of that. So what should happen when you hover over the link? The number should be a continuous number. So if we do update now of this for the moment, and what I want Robert to do just quickly is, after it's saved, is go back to company info, and the standard phone one, we're going to put a gap in it. So if you go to company info for me, Robert. And we go to phone, the first one in the list, hit edit. I want to put a space somewhere in that number. And now do update. The reason this is the phone, this is the text that will be displayed on the site. So if we now refresh the incognito window and bring it back. And the thing is as well, occasionally these sites are so big, right, that occasionally our devs do make little mistakes, and we have to correct them. Right, you can see now on that one. All right, so so the actual clickable number's different to the actual display number, right? And that's because Robert's put two different ones in there. If we scroll to the top, that's what's wrong on that one, is the text, I think. So we will get that one updated today, and that on the final build, that'll be all resolved. We got devs going through all of the pages and checking all the links and checking all the content changes, and everything's correct. And so this is an early example for you guys. You can see how this is going to work. And yes, occasionally things are missed on the beta versions. This will be signed off properly on Wednesday and then added to the members area to be able to be downloaded.
Well, this is part of the process. It's the time it takes to build the sites, get them right, get them checked, then you wrap up the sites, right?
Yeah.
So that's a file, so that you guys get all the entire site in one wrapped up file.
Yeah.
And the process of doing that, sometimes things go wrong. So we put them on another domain, do the builds, and then they get checked. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to be building these on a couple different domains that everybody can see what we could do in the process.
Yeah.
And it makes it a learning experience, as well as you can see how things can go wrong, how things get fixed, and how the whole theme works. Now, think about it like this. If you had to build this site from scratch using whatever page builder you want to use, how long would it take you to get that site built?
Yeah.
Now, we're just fooling around with phone numbers and names, company names and addresses, but the reality is this is already a full built site with pricing, portfolio. What's the portfolio, Stephen? Why don't we talk about it? Because
we'll show that in 1 minute. I want you to scroll to the bottom very quickly, because you've refreshed the page. And I just wanted to show where the company name changes. And I'm sure we have it in the list at the bottom there?
I don't think we put the name in the list. I think it's on the contact page.
On the contact page. Go to the contact page and let's check. Let's see if the devs added it, or if they're going to let me down. And if it isn't, we'll make sure it's showing up on the page. I know we've added it somewhere.
There it is, your company name.
There we go. So that's where it gets added with your company name on there. The top bar is designed in a way where it's got the best website builder small businesses. You'll be able to change that yourself in another section of the site, and we show you where that is, because shortcodes don't always work in the headers properly. So we've gone and changed it so that it doesn't conflict, because some page builders don't like the shortcodes inside of these headers. So let's go over to the portfolio page. And like we said, all the training will be included on going through the menus, changing all the information on the site in one easy place. But what we've got here is all the current sites are on here. In fact, we've got one more. The devs are finalizing, which we're hoping to add to this build straight away. And that's going to be a roofing theme. But each of these here go to a demo. So if Robert picks one of these, in fact, Roofer is on there, isn't it, Robert?
It is.
So I think they're all there. So they've updated it. We've got 1, 2, 3. Scroll down. Let's check, shall we?
There's
3,
7
6,
showing.
7. I know we got one. We got one more to be added, and we'll have to double check what one that is later. But just pick one of the demos, like garden, for an example. And what your customers are going to do is click on the link
here.
below.
You can click here, or you can click in here, and it'll take you to a separate page with another link. I'm just going to click here for now.
Yeah.
So what did this do? It brought me to a page that's going to show the demo individual of the portfolio.
Yeah.
Now I can look here on a generic URL, and it's going to be a demo site of the actual build of the gardening site. So it's a full with a location build of the gardening theme that you can offer this to gardeners and landscapers.
Now we want to point out one thing: the URL at the top. All right, and the reason we've used a short URL for this demo is because we want you to have the demos ready built to show people. That's the reason why it says demo company name on it, because there's nothing worse than you get an agency website ready built for you with the demos included, but then it goes to DFY Magic Theme / Gardeners Demo. And then people go, well, I could just buy it from DFY Magic Themes. No, we're not doing that. That's the reason why we got rcs4.com at the top. It's a generic domain name. And it's going to stay generic with no advertising on it, no promotions of our part, which means when you put your agency website in, you can rest assured that you're going to be able to send your customers to these demos. And when they turn around and go, oh, I fancy that gardening site, then you can come to us and purchase the gardening site for that client, load it in the same way we've just shown you how we load the first site, and boom, you got yourself a gardening site set up. And every time this is installed, the content respins itself automatically.
It's a simplified process of you not doing all of these builds until you have clientele that's going to rent them from you, or depending on your licensing and how you're doing things, the rent or sell.
Yeah. So
we like the rental.
So imagine this, right? And I've got, in fact, a friend of mine called Simon. He wanted to set up his own web agency, and he approached me knowing about DFY Magic Themes. And at the time, we didn't have this site, the actual agency site ready. So he went off and built his own. And the one thing he said to me is that I wish I had a bunch of demos I could show. So when I showed him this the other week, he can't wait for Black Friday, because his wording to me was, I'll have that site up within a day easily, if not a few hours. And he said, then I can promote this out online to all my colleagues, all my friends, get people to share my agency website, being new into the local area. So all his friends and family are going to be sharing his site saying, I'm an agency. Then when people come to this site and they have a look and they go, okay, well, what areas do I cover? Am I a pest control guy? Am I a roofer? Am I a garden care person? Am I this, that, and the other? And the thing is, he said, wording to me was he's going to rent out the sites at $99 a month. And I said, and I've had a few people say, well, that's too cheap. But what he wants to do is foot in the door. If he rents 10 of these sites out, and it could be all in the same niche for all it mattered in different locations, 10 sites is $1,000 a month. How cool is that? Who could do with an extra $1,000 a month in their pocket for just renting a site and doing nothing else, And so the idea behind this is that people come over here, and if someone goes, okay, well, you haven't got my niche, right? And DFY Magic Themes haven't got the niche. What you do, you say to the person, we haven't got the niche at the moment, but we can have a bespoke site built for you. And they'll say, how much for? We go, 20K. Always price it more than what you really, really want. because then we can get devs who can build bespoke sites for people if needed. But the exciting thing is this is going to be a business in the box. We've got a ton of other tools being included on Black Friday, which are only for Black Friday and the weekend. And these tools are going to help you get leads into your business, get people interested in what you're doing. And we've got some great products that we are including in the whole bundle.
Steve, let me just make a point for a second. As painstakingly slow as it was to do the restore, which seemed like an hour and a half, right? Because we're
felt longer because we're live,
waiting for that thing, right? So let's say it took a full 90 minutes to build that site, right?
Yeah.
And that building this site that you watched us do is no different than any of these.
Yes.
They all build exactly the same. It's a restore of a website that's already built. You go in and you change the details, phone numbers, company information, etc. But let's just look at time. If it took you an hour and a half to build one site and could rent that site for $100 a month on the cheap side, how many would you build? How many people make $1,200 a year for an hour and a half's worth of work? And even if you double, triple, or quadruple the time it would take to put that site together, because you will spend more time on it, dressing up and changing things in the future, adding more content. But $1,200 a year for one site rental, that even if it took 24 hours of your time, is that worth $1,200 a year to you? It is to me.
What's exciting, Robert, is you times that by 10, that's $12,000 a year.
And keep going.
Double it again, $24,000 a year.
We're not even talking, not talking extra services, the extra things you can do, the extra things this is just building a site and renting it out to a local service business that, guess what? That need it. This is the site that gets you started. This, like you said, Stephen, it's more than a business in a box.
Yeah.
It's been done for you to make you look professional out the gate. Little things that are maybe not right, or you want to correct, or you want to change. The idea of it is build it, take the demo sites, show it to people that need it. And when they're interested, then you build it for them. It's like you don't even spend time until you have the fish on the hook, so to speak. Don't reel in the line. Just keep fishing. Keep fishing for the clientele that need these sites. That's the build, rent, and rank system. We're not getting into all of that tonight. We just wanted to show you this is the business in a box that gets you started. This is the Fire Deal website, and the Black Friday deal is way beyond the Fire Deal website. It's huge.
And we will state very clearly, right? And it's only to be fair on those that will get in on the Black Friday deal. After Black Friday has finished and we're past Cyber Monday, right? And we're on the Tuesday, right? And most likely it'll run to first thing in the morning Tuesday because of the time zone variants that are out there. Because we know some people are a bit well behind us on time. But as soon as that offer ends, it's going to revert to the DFY deal only, right? And that deal will not have all the bonuses and all the bells and whistles that we're throwing in. Do not go messaging us after Cyber Monday going, I missed the deal, because this deal will not come back, right? And the only reason we are saying that is we're going to be fair on the action takers. So when that deal comes out, right, action takers only will get in on this. And the thing is as well, part of the deal of getting this website and the crazy price we're going to do it for, you get a year's access to the inner circle as well. And the inner circle is a group of people who have been with us, fair few of them have been with us from day one. Some people have joined more recently. And it includes access to us on a Friday call to ask questions. You also, obviously you can still raise support tickets if you're not part of the inner circle, and we will always respond. But the difference with this offer is you get into the inner circle as well. And you'll get on the Friday calls, you can ask questions if you get stuck. If we feel it warrants a one-on-one call, we will do that. We've done many a one-on-one call with our members. There are members who are watching this now who know that we look after you guys. And that's the number one thing we believe in is supporting our users and making sure that they get to where they want to be. Now, at the end of the day, you could load one of these sites, sit back and do nothing else. And if you do nothing else, right, and you don't promote it and you don't spend a bit of time on your business, you don't invest your hours into the business, then you will not make anything back on it. This may not be for you, right? We want people who are going to come into this, follow the training, get their site set up, put their own details on the site, and take action with getting this site found in their local area. There's enough work out there as a web agency alone to offer this. And then all the other tools which we'll be showing you as well are going to be amazing. And you'll be able to soon grow your business locally. And like we said, if you're confident enough to go for more than $99 a site, go for it. If you know your market, go for it. But if you had to go out tomorrow and build a site like this, or build a site like our gardening one, or build a site like pest control, think how much that would cost you to build that site, first of all. Tens of thousands of pounds per site, because we know.
Yes.
All right. And to get the content together and the images together and get the site fully set up, ready to go. That value alone is crazy. And then when you've got the site up and running, right, and you spent 10 or 15K on a site, getting it all built because you need people to do that for you, then you have some other costs on top. And the next minute you're out of pocket by, let's say, 15K. And then you're trying to rent the site out. I mean, let's say this, let's be conservative here, Robert, and say you found a dev online that went, okay, I'll do your site for three grand. Let's just say, for argument's sake, right? You spend that $3,000, you're now going to make that $3,000 back. Right? $99 a month for a year at one site will be $1,200 a year. And if you only manage to get, you don't put much effort into what you're doing, and you get one site rented, it's going to take you a few years to get your money back, get your investment back. We are there in the inner circle to support you every step of the way and keep pushing you and keep saying, do this, do this, do this. We want you to succeed. We want you to, build your agency in your local area and get a site up and running, a ready built site with all of the content on it, which can be easily tweaked as well if you want to tweak it.
Stephen, the issue is not the website build in many cases, but let's just be transparent. Let's be totally clear and honest. What we've seen is it's technology stops people. It's their own confidence level stops people. It's getting a simple answer to a question that stops someone dead in their tracks. And think technology goes wrong. But let's just say, even if you had to put a price on this website, there's no doubt in my mind to have somebody build this site, it'd be a $10,000 site just for the agency site alone because of all the content. Now, go out and look at what a roofer has to do to put a site online to get leads to his roofing company. Go out and look in your area, Google it, say how much it would cost to get a 5-page website for a roofer put up. Find out what the costs are before you go start talking to the roofers. And in different areas, you'll have different price ranges. In different niches, you'll have different price ranges. If you're selling an inexpensive niche, like, I don't even know, red widgets that are very cheap versus selling a roof, selling a full year of pest control to a company or a commercial business, all of those things add up to the point of what's the value of that website to that company. A roofer that gets one roof job out of it, how much money does he make? or a roof repair. And that's what it all becomes. You have to know your business. You have to know what they're going to need. So that first website, 25% of the local businesses out there that don't have a website, why? They know they need it, but they don't know who to talk to get it done. And they're afraid to launch into something they don't understand. You are the savior to those businesses by coming in with a full-blown website that they didn't even have to think about writing content. Now, most companies, most local niches don't want to worry about writing content for a website. They want to work their business. They want to make money doing what they do. A roofer, a plumber, a painter. A painter doesn't want to worry about his website. He wants to go paint houses. He wants to make money doing what he does, right? So you have to come in as a savior. And when you have an answer for an inexpensive website to get them started, to get them leads online, they all know they need it. That's the bottom line. No one in today's industries is relying on people to just go find them through talking to a neighbor or talking to somebody else. Does that still happen? Yes. But at the end of the day, they know everybody's going to their phone. I want a local painter for my city. I need a plumber right now. My air conditioning's broken. Whatever. These are the things that are coming. And that's why they need a website so badly. So get it to them. Show them that you're the expert in that industry, and you are. You start out the gate with the demo sites that not only if you told me go check out my roofing site, and you give them the link, right? You can give them the link right to this demo, or you can give them the link to the entire page to see your whole portfolio in your website. This will become your website, not our website. This is your website. These are your demos. You put these together. These are what you're offering your clients. It's get started. This is the way to get passive income. This is the way to really change your life. If you're really, what, Stephen, you said it earlier, it's work. If you want an online ATM, this is not it. This is a way to get online income for sure, but you have to go out and put the people in touch with what you're offering. Is it hard to do? No, but it takes work. And we are not the average. We are defiers. That's how we define ourselves. We are defying how internet marketing and how you market online teaches people to do these things. We don't come in and promise you're going to be on a new yacht in your new mansion next month because you bought our product. No, you're going to have to work for it. But we're going to make that work as easy as possible. Like this, like you saw us build this site in less than an hour. Is it done? It's not 100% done, but it's 95% done as soon as you did the restore file. Now you have to go back and change the company information. You have to do some more things. It's all laid out in our training. But the most important part is you can start as soon as you have this site up and a phone number and a way to reach you, you're in business. You start renting these sites, the demos, and you start getting people lined up. And guess what? You're in the inner circle with us. You get stuck. You need to put up a plumber site in California somewhere, and you don't know what to do. You know what? I know Stephen. I know me. As soon as somebody comes to us in the inner circle and says, I got a client on the hook, they're really interested in one of my sites. I don't know. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. We're going to tell you to calm down. Where do they want to put the site? Have you talked to pricing? Do you have anything set up? We're going to help you. We're not going to walk away from you because now you have a client on the hook and you're going to make money and we're jealous. No, we're going to help you land that client. And you know what? If you don't get that one, you don't get the next one, you'll get the third one or the fourth one. It's how much time do you put in talking to these people and how do you talk to them? And when your confidence level goes from shaking to, hey, look, you're getting a deal here at whatever price per month or whatever you're doing it for this deal, right? When your confidence level tells them that this site is worth $5,000, this site is worth, $1,000 or $2,000 a month, and they are. But we want to get you started, and when you put up, it's like a Black Friday deal, right? When you put up an offer that's a no-brainer deal, it makes absolutely no sense not to purchase it right now.
Yeah.
That's what you want to offer to your client. That's what you want to offer them in a website and your services. And you know what? You're going to take away all their headaches because you put the site up. You put their phone number on it. You did all the things that you had to do for them. And they're going to thank you for it by paying you month after month after month. And the reality is when their leads start coming in and they're making more money than they're spending out on that site, it just continues. And then they're going to want more pages and want more locations and want more of your services. And that's what that's our program. It's build it, rent it, and build it and rent another one, and build it and rent another one. And now you can start getting into the ranking, and you start charging for the ranking because now there's websites are worth more money. It's all laid out in our program. So it's up to you.
Do you know, Robert, right? A friend of mine in the week said to me, he came up with a brilliant idea. He said, I own an old domain in my area for plumbers. In fact, I don't think it's his location. I think he's in the UK and it's a USA plumbers location. And he said he's going to buy our plumber site, upload it, right? Do a little short video himself on how to change the data in it, and then he's going to put it up on Flipper. And he reckons that he'll get 5 to 10K for the site with the domain name up and running. I think he's going to put it up first of all, and obviously add analytics so he can give some data on it. But as a starter website, he reckons he'll get a few grand for it easily. I mean, that's just crazy. Got a question coming saying, do we have a marketing one to promote our business from it? Technically, this is your marketing site. This is the site to market to go, hey, we're here. This is what we offer in our local area. This is, these are the themes we've already got. And by the way, guys, as our devs bring out more themes, what we will do is send you the image for that to add into your portfolio on the site, which will show you how to do that, and they'll appear here automatically.
So understand that as the library grows, and even if you haven't technically bought the theme from us, you can still market those themes. And then when the time comes and you have a client that needs it, then you can buy the theme from us at that time.
Yeah.
But putting all of that aside, this continues to grow. And as far as the marketing goes, the marketing thought behind this site is for people that aren't going out there to look for a web agency to do a custom design for them. That's not what this site is about. You can put it on Mike's website agency.com if you want to. But in the long run, the site was built and the content is written for people going online looking to build a website for a small business. They're looking to go to website builders and maybe try to do it themselves. And the idea is to steal that traffic by them looking for that content of going to different website builders that they're going to go and finally take the plunge and they're going to build their own site, not knowing what they're doing. They're going to fall into all the traps. And when they see a low cost, beautiful website that's already pre-built and it's just launched for them because that's what you're going to do at a really, really affordable price, that's how we're bringing the marketing into this. Now, you can market any way you want to outside of this site, but that's how this content was written so that you can get people in your local area that are looking to build a website for a small business. That's what you're doing, and that's what it's for. market any way you want. YouTube, paid ads, social media marketing. And, the ones that were really clever and got into the Cloud Key deal, guess what? They're getting free Facebook leads just by being part of the Cloud Key deal. And that's all the marketing that you need to do. You need to just get the word out, show the sites. Anything else you want to add to that, Stephen?
No. So just to summarize, if we come back to the WordPress site itself. So under company info, which is what we should already be in here, if we scroll across, so you'll be able to update all the content that is in here accordingly, like your company address, your company phone numbers, state/county for the UK, postal code/zip code, your public email, which is the email address that shows across the site, business hours, years of experience, business price range. You can even add coordinates of your location if you really want to, and all sorts of data in here. And as we check the site out throughout the week with the devs, there may be some tweaks and extra ones being added. But the great thing about this is it's very easy to come in. Now, the last note we'll say, with our shortcode plugin, you can create your own shortcodes. And you simply just click add new, label your shortcode, and you can put these anywhere on your site yourself.
Steven, step back just a little bit in case somebody's watching this video that never heard of what a shortcode is. The idea of a shortcode is to have like a company. The company name of any business out there is plastered on every page of the website. In the footer, in the header, in the content, it's just plastered because that's their company name. That's their brand. So a short code is in our builder here is DFY-company. So you take this short code and you physically copy paste this code all over the website. And every place that this code is put on that website, every page, it doesn't matter how many, if it's 5, 10, 100,000, whatever. Every time you put that code on the page and you go and edit that particular code, let's say it's your company name today, right? And tomorrow, your company name decided he don't want to pay you anymore. So it's my new company name. And that new company name goes across the site everywhere that shortcode is.
And that's on all our sites. So for an example, the plumber site, if you rent in the site to John's Plumbers, and when you rent these sites out, by the way, get people to put all their literature, their cards, business cards, you name it, John's Plumbing on it. Here's my web address. And the thing is, then John stops paying you. What do? You come in, right? And you go and you rent it to someone else, and it's Peter's Plumbing. All right, so you come in and change it to all his details, and the site automatically changes site-wide to become Peter's Plumbing right the way across it. You put Peter's phone number on it, you put Peter's address on it, and then suddenly John knocks on your door and goes, I've changed my mind. I want my site back. And you go, sorry, I'm renting it to Peter now. You have to wait till Peter stops renting it, Or you change it to what's called a lead gen site, and we can come into that at a later date, where you sell the leads individually and you have your own details on it, your own phone numbers and stuff. But, these can be rented out from $99 right up to $500 a month. It's all down to your location and how confident you are in renting these out. We always say, start with a $99 site in your local area, do 10 of them, right? Because a lot of businesses will go on, I can afford $100 a month. 10 of them, nice amount of month coming in, isn't it? $1,000 a month almost. Do 20, and then as you go along, we move on to other things like the location pages, and we come into that at a later time, where then you can add location pages to give people a wider area. You charge them more money. You say we can while they're renting the site, by the way, right, you can then work on the SEO inside of Rank Math or Yoast. Those that aren't confident with that, there are people out there that will actually SEO up your site fully. All the on-page stuff is done. you know, and so ultimately what this is about is just getting sites up online in your local area and renting them out. Get a site up, rent it. Get a site up, rent it. And the more sites you rent, the more of an income you get, and it gets a lot easier. There's other services which you can include in the future to people, like managing their social media account. We have a product within our library where you can manage any social media accounts. You add them, you schedule your social media for that company. What's that worth a month to a company if you're scheduling their posts? And it takes you, what, let's say an hour a week at the most to schedule up a whole month's content for a company. You know, and especially if they supply you the content and you schedule it all up to go out over a month, or you offer copywriting services and you go and find a company who will write that content for them if they don't know what they want on their social media accounts. There's so much to this that you can keep on going. But where do you start in a business like this, wanting to work from home, work for yourself, right? Get away from that dead end 9-to-5 job where you've got a boss breathing down your neck, moaning at you every 5 minutes because you're not doing your work right, and then get a site rented out. The great thing about what we are doing here at DFY Magic Themes is the fact that you can work for yourself. And if you at first want to do this part-time, well, you see, we've been on now an hour and 15 minutes. We're going to wrap up in a minute, this training, right? And the cool thing about it is we had a site up within half an hour. Yes, it took a little while for the file to upload, but you can set it going and go and do a few other things. You know, Charles says, if you change the company name, do you need to change the domain name as well? No. And what we do, Charles, what we recommend is you use more of a generic domain name. So for example, My Plumbers Bristol, My Plumbers Wellington. You come up with a domain name in that local area that's generic for that niche and location. And then you put the site on it. Now, just because when someone goes to my Plumbers Wellington and it then comes up with Peter's Plumbers, right? The domain name doesn't matter what it's labeled as, right? Obviously, you wouldn't want to buy a domain name called Peter's Plumbers and it's actually someone called Peter in that location and you're using technically his domain name, because you can get some conflict there. You don't want that hassle involved. So you set up your own plumbers website names in that location. And the thing is as well, with our DFY agency website, that's your window. That's the thing you get up online. That's the thing you promote on Facebook, Twitter, social media, saying we are the #1 web agency in this area. We have ready built sites which we can rent to you. That's the first step, right? Then the second step is someone approaches you wanting SEO services. You can outsource these services to third parties on Upwork or Fiverr. So you can get prices in advance for somebody who says, I've got my website, it's not doing very well. And you go and have a look at it and it may not be any of the niches we're currently doing. But it's so once you've got that window to the world and people come to know you as that expert in that local area that can A, build websites, B, do SEO, C, do their social media management, reputation management. There are so many more things to this. So when that $99 a month that you may be charging Mr. Plumber, right, soon then becomes $150 a month because you're doing all the social media. Then it becomes $200 a month because you're doing reputation management. Then it becomes $300 a month because you're doing something else for them. It soon adds up. On once someone trusts you in these particular niches for a web agency, a local business trusts you, they'll spend more with you, and they'll start spending less with the bigger companies. Like in the UK, we've got Yellow Pages and BT who like to take your money and not deliver very much, because I've found that myself in the past. They promise you they're going to get lots of calls coming in and it never happens, you know. And the thing is you don't have to guarantee calls. You just say to this business, look, you need a website because people expect a website nowadays. You need a Facebook page because people expect a Facebook page. Have those running, we'll manage them for you. Nice and easy there. Is there anything you want to add, Robert, before we sign off for the night?
This is absolutely the easiest way that you can get started. You don't have to know anything really to understand how to move forward with this. And you learn as you go. That's the whole point of all of this. Done For You Magic Themes was created because of the complexity of building mass page websites. We took that all out. We want you to build like we did in less than an hour, have a complete site built in. With our training, you go in, change the company name, phone number, address, right? Site's built. There's more things you can do, and it's all based on the training and what level you want to go to. You learn as you go, but the idea is to build it and rent it. And as far as you can do so many things, but go after low-hanging fruit, go after the niche websites that are already created. And when the guy comes to you that wants to have a website put up for something that you just have no idea what it is, like car wrapping tire colors or something, and you're like, what the heck is this? You're going to spend more time trying to figure out something that doesn't exist than stuff that there's people out there doing. Are there not painters in every country in the world? Are there not plumbers? Are there not electricians? I mean, I guess the way to look at it, there's certain countries out there that don't have electricity. If they don't have electricity, they don't need electricians. But the reality is, go after what's going to be easy for you to be able to rent, because you're going to build it and rent it and keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's just, if again, like Steven said, if you have no interest in building websites, if you have no interest in having passive income by doing this, we appreciate that. Don't waste your time with this if it's not something that you want to do. But if you have an interest in supplying local businesses what they need, which is a good lead generation type of website for their business, and make money for helping them, this is the place to be. Find your passion and go after it. And this will work, but you have to work. Don't think you're going to buy one website and one domain and you're going to retire next week. Not going to happen. You have to be able to build and keep building. And then as you build your knowledge and what you're doing, you get more confident. And you'll see, we have Done For You Magic Theme websites that are being sold for $6,000 and $7,000 without content. But those are agency members that have confidence in what they're doing. We want you to get started. We want you to give such an offer that it's like handing ice cream to a kid. They just want it. And you go with that. But check out our DFY deal. It's coming. As far as marketing in different countries, it depends on your country of what you're trying to do. But all of the content can be changed. All of these things can be edited, but it takes time and effort to do that. So start with what you have.
Yeah.
And we didn't really talk about location pages. The location of your website build is based on what you want to put it in as. If you're in Kalamazoo, then that's going to be your location pages, and those are the cities that you're going to build in. We're just showing an example of Wellington because that's where I am. So your location pages and what you build your niche in is based on your locality. And if you're in a place that, let's say, that doesn't need air conditioning or HVAC, that's wrong, because everybody needs either cooling or they need heating. So it's one or the other. But let's say you just made an air conditioning company, but yet it's your location's in Alaska. They don't need really air conditioning in Alaska very much. So HVAC makes more sense for both, right? It does heating and cooling. But all of this can be changed based on your location. Look at what you're doing for your competition. What's in your area? What's really the hot niche to go after? And that's where you go.
Yeah. And this is the exciting part of all of this. You need to make sure, right, that you look out for our Black Friday deal when it comes up, because it's going to be a crazy offer that's going to come out. And we've even been told by some of our current DFYs who we've shared the deal with that we are doing this way too cheap. And so make sure you get in when we launch this on Black Friday. After that, all the bonuses will disappear and it will be a similar price, but just for the site on its own. So by far, Black Friday will be the deal. And whether you buy it on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, it's still going to be the same deal. We're not going to do one of those things where you think, oh, should I buy it Friday? It's going to be cheaper on Monday. It's not. It's the same deal for the whole weekend. That's what we're doing. And then after Cyber Monday, it goes to the DFY website deal only, which is far, far less. Thank you. We appreciate all your time. We appreciate everyone joining us in the Zoom room. And just a final note that I will say, we've had some great feedback from various people, and we're going to start moving the training in the future to the first part of the Friday calls, because we've had a lot of people who have said they can't always make it on a Sunday. And we do 2 lots sort of, lives in our groups. And Fridays seem to work well for people. So it means we can turn up at 9:30 UK time, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time on a Friday, do some training. Then we do the Q&As only for the members and support, and we go from there. If we get more feedback from the members who like us to do both, then we might still do some Sundays. It's just a case of we want to progress everyone on the same pace as we go along. But thank you so much. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, what's left of it, and a good week. And watch out for the Black Friday deal. If you're a DFYer, you know what to do. Message us first. That's what we say. So
thank you all for watching, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll say bye for now.